Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey are playing some of the best basketball of their respective careers as of late, which has comfortably placed Cade in the conversation for a top 5 point guard in the NBA, has changed the way Ivey has been viewed among the young guards in the league, and the Pistons have already won as many games as they did last year, just 32 games into this season. That dreaded 2024 season where they lost 28 straight and were gatekeeping Wingstop from their diehard fans.
Hurry it up, will ya? We're hungry over here, look it up!
However, the NBA world was unable to see one of the more promising young backcourt pairings in the league last season due to the mismanagement of both Jaden Ivey and the Detroit Pistons as a whole. With the physical tools at 6'4", 200 pounds, with a 6'9" wingspan, and being a dynamic athlete due to his speed in the open floor and explosive first step and leaping ability, Jaden Ivey was a star prospect out of Purdue who was poised to be a quality combo guard at the next level. The Detroit Pistons for sure thought so and drafted him 5th overall in the 22 NBA draft with the hope that he'd pair well with Cade Cunningham. However, while Ivey did show promise with his 16 points per game and 5 assists in his rookie season, the big problem was that Cade Cunningham unfortunately played just 12 games that season before being ruled out due to injury, meaning we didn't get to see how well these young stars would gel. Also, the Pistons fired Dwayne Casey and gave a record-setting contract to Monty Williams for what would be an eventful tenure for all the wrong reasons. Williams taking over didn't just mean that the Pistons had to take on a new philosophy, but that those who apparently didn't buy in were going to get the short end of the stick, including your, at the time, 21-year-old guard who was just drafted 5th overall in the NBA draft. Monty Williams benched Ivey in the name of poor defense and high turnover rates, and the coaching staff completely ditched the prospect of Ivey and Cade starting as a backcourt since they both thrive best with the ball in their hands. We even got to the point where Cade and Ivey were hardly seen on the floor together and often were playing in completely different lineups. So let's get this straight. You spent the 5th overall pick on Ivey with hopes of seeing how well he and Cade could play together. You didn't see how well they could play together due to Cade's injury, and now you completely bench Ivey without a sizable amount of professional games to see how this backcourt would fare. Yeah. There's nothing inherently wrong with trying to teach up good habits with your team, but when you realize that Ivey was being benched for Killian Hayes, who shot over 40% from the field just one time in his career, never shot 44% on 2-pointers as a Piston, and shot 28% from 3, and was throwing up lineups of Isaiah Livers, James Wiseman, and Joe Harris out there during a rebuilding year, you start to lose the plot. Fast forward to this year, and a more confident Jaden Ivey is easily playing the best basketball of his NBA career. Over his last 15 games, Ivey's averaged 16 points and 4 assists on 45% from the field and 42% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. One of the biggest knocks on Ivey out of Purdue was his consistency as an outside shooter and how it could overall limit his ceiling as a starting guard in the league. However, he's shooting 39% from 3 on 5 attempts this season, 42% on above the break threes, and 43% on catch and shoot threes. Ivey's added threat as a catch and shoot 3-point shooter adds spacing to a Pistons team that has struggled mightily over the years in terms of 3-point shooting, allows him to function better when he and Cade share the floor. Additionally, his 3-point shooting and his confidence as a pull-up shooter have changed the ways teams have to defend him as they respect him more as an outside shooter, adding to his off-ball threat as someone who already can operate well off the ball and off the catch. He's still the explosive athlete he was out of Purdue, who can be a threat in the open floor as someone who has great speed, good footwork, can stop and go at a moment's notice, and even can be a playmaker in transition as well. Those traits also allow him to be impactful in the half court, since he's a good ball handler who can take defenders off the dribble and is really hard to stop going downhill. He's key as a player who can break down defenses on this Pistons team, being second to only Cade on the roster in terms of drives per game, and his ability to create rim pressure and operate as a pick and roll ball handler allow him to create more opportunities for his teammates. He He got the 4-point play to secure a 16-point fourth quarter comeback against the Sacramento Kings on the road. He's been very efficient since coming back from injury, and the Pistons are actually winning games. But areas where he still needs to work on are his in-between game and playmaking. He's not a bad playmaker by any means, but driving even more to the basket can present even more kick-out opportunities and dump-offs in the paint for his teammates, and that can make him an even more viable creator on the floor beside Cade Cunningham. Speaking of Cade, this is a player who has validated his standing as the #1 overall pick over the last couple seasons, but the world probably doesn't even know how well he's playing since the Pistons are never on national TV, and the supposed basketball media hardly ever talk about small market teams. However, Cade is a 6'6" jack-of-all-trades point guard that's having a career year and better be an all-star in 2025. I've made a full-length videos on Cade Cunningham in the past, but his ability to operate at his own pace and not get sped up by defenses, his ability to get to his spots, his footwork, ability to drive to the basket and use his size and strength to finish through contact make him pretty difficult to tame. Also, his capability as a pick-and-roll ball handler, craftiness to get by defenders due to his ability to accelerate and decelerate quickly, and improve confidence as an outside shooter make him a complete offensive player. Moreover, the most remarkable part about his play this season has to be his playmaking, averaging career best 9.7 assists per game and assisting on 25.3 points per game this season, which are the second and third best marks in the entire league. During his NBA career, Cade has demonstrated that he can be a great playmaker, averaging 6 assists in his rookie season on a Pistons team that was the second worst three-point shooting teams in terms of percentage, and 7.5 assists last year on a team that was 25th in three-point percentage and bottom 5 in three-point attempts. With a 6'6" frame and excellent court vision, Cade is very efficient in the pick and roll, having one of the highest pick and roll frequencies in the league at 41.4% and scoring the 5th most points as a pick and roll ball handler per game. He's a good passer in these situations. He drives 17 times a game with a knack of hitting teammates on kickouts or dump-offs in the paint, being able to bring up the ball in transition and find teammates, being cognizant of where his teammates are on the floor, while being able to make plays everywhere on the floor. Even out of college, he was said to have a grown man's game, but this couldn't be more true in 2024. The Pistons have something great brewing between Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, and this wasn't something we even would have seen if Monty Williams were still the coach, or if the Pistons somehow already gave up on Jaden Ivey, who hasn't even completed 3 full seasons in his NBA career. It will take time, but the Pistons look to be heading in the right direction, and I can't wait to see what this duo has in store for us in the future. With that being said, let me know your thoughts on the Cade Cunningham-Jaden Ivey backcourt and what you think about their play this season. Is this a pairing you'd love to see long term? And what do each of these players need to improve upon to maximize their potential as a backcourt? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on the video as each like makes a massive difference for me as a creator, and also sub to the channel for more content like this. Happy New Year, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.